Hello, welcome to another video from myrucksackandi.com and from me, Alistair Down. This week's going to be slightly different in as much as we're down by the sea. As you can see behind me, the waves are breaking in and we're down at Hayling Island down on the south coast. And this is where all the kite surfers and the windsurfers and the paddle boarders, in fact, you can see one just here coming in on the waves. This is where they all head to. So we thought we'd have a weekend down here wild camping. But it's going to be a slightly different weekend this weekend. Yes, we're going to be wild camping, but we're going to be wild camping in style. This weekend we've got the Volkswagen camper van, and we're going to have a little bit of luxury. We've got heating, we've got a TV, we've got a nice comfy bed, we've got running water, we've got a stove, although we may well be cooking on the beach tomorrow, depending on what the weather's doing. They do forecast rain, so we'll see what happens. I will run you around the camper van when I get back there, but at the moment, as you can see, we're down on the beach. So I hope you enjoy the video this week. It's going to be slightly different, but hopefully it's going to be interesting.
So, like I said, this weekend is all about wild camping, or wild camping in luxury. So unfortunately, there is no boil in the bag, there is no freeze-dried food, there is no cooking in the rain. No, this evening I'm sat in a nice warm pub with a nice cold pint of cider, and as my good lady calls it, the farmyard. Just take a look at that. That is what you call wild camping in luxury. I'm going to tuck into this and enjoy this, guys, so I'll catch up with you later. Cheers. Just like I say, that was absolutely delicious. And as you can see, nothing left but the bones. And as we're by the seaside, for better order an ice cream for dessert.
Well, I'm down on the beach now. You can probably hear the sea behind me crashing in on the pebbles. I just thought I'd take a little bit of time out at the end of the day. Had that huge dinner, which was absolutely delicious, and a nice Sunday just to finish it all off. And I suppose we don't have those luxuries when we're wild camping up on the mountain and we have to carry our own food up there, and we always go for the light option of having a freeze-dried meal or a boil in the bag meal. So I suppose, like I said, this weekend is all about luxury wild camping, and I certainly had a luxurious meal tonight. So I'll follow that off with a walk along the beach, really just to walk my dinner off, I suppose. And it's something really nice. When I'm up on the mountains, I like to chill out. I like to sit outside my tent. I like to take in the mountain air. I like to feel the wind racing past me, as it always does. But walking along the beach in the dark, you've got the pebbles under your feet, crunching away, and you've just got that constant sound of the waves crashing onto the beach. And I suppose with it being a pebble beach here, it's magnified that little bit more. But it really is therapeutic. It really is relaxing. And I like to just sit down, take a little bit of time, and just find the zone and just meditate 5 minutes, and just really bring myself at one with nature and at one with the earth. And I think that's what I find really inspiring about walking in the mountains and about walking in desolate places, is just being on your own, taking that time out, finding yourself and just centralising. And tonight along here has been absolutely fantastic. Really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to heading back to the van and getting into a nice warm bed. But just listen to the waves. Just take a few minutes out to take that in. Unfortunately, you can't see them. I can, but you can't. So I think I'm just going to have another 10 minutes here, chill out. I head back to the van, and then tomorrow I'll give you a tour of the van. You can have a look at what I've done with that, and we'll see what adventures tomorrow brings. So good night all, and I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning everybody. So it's 6:30 on Saturday morning, and I thought I'd just get up early today to watch the sunrise, but unfortunately it's, as you can see behind me, it's quite cloudy. So yeah, not a very good sunrise this morning. I'm not normally an early riser, but I thought I'll take the opportunity to get up and just listen to the waves and watch the sun come up, but yeah, that didn't happen. But the waves are still crashing. It's still very, very peaceful, and it's still a good start to the day. So I'm pleased that I did get up. And maybe you just like to take in the sights and the sounds with me for a short while. Isn't that glorious? Absolutely fantastic. Brings a smile to my face every time. So a quick tour of the camper van for you. As you can see, where we are here, we are parked right on the beach. You can't get any closer to the beach, and you can see all the kite surfers out there, the windsurfers, people walking their dogs. And this is our van, which is a Volkswagen Transporter T5. Started off life as a kitchen fitter's van, and I've done all the work myself, transforming it into a camper van. And inside, this is what we've got. So instantly I'm out of the wind, and it's nice and calm in here. So this is sort of the main unit. A lot of camper vans, they have the unit down the side of the van, and they have a small, what they call 3/4 bed, which you sleep on. But it's just too narrow for us. We like to have a good night's sleep, and we found that the full width bed works better for us. So we decided to go for the units behind the seats. So what we've got here is a full operational fridge, which is really good, especially when we head off to France and the warmer places. It's nice to keep everything cool. And even in the top in here, we've got a freezer compartment. So that's really nice. Then we've got, running along the top, this is our Erbespacher heater. So this runs off of the diesel and the Leisure battery, and literally we just use this controller that's over here, and that controls all of our heating and just keeps it absolutely toasty. We use this van all year round, and that enables us to use it all year round. Just having that heat, we just flick it on, and you can set the temperature over there just like your home really. It's got a thermostat on it, 17, 18, 19, right up to I think to 35 or 36 degrees it'll go, and that keeps us absolutely toasty because the van's all insulated and carpet lined anyway. And then we've got sockets here for our 240 volts, so when we're on an electric hookup, if we're on a site, then we'll use those. There's some 2 USB chargers under here. This is our lighting control, so this will operate our lights in the ceiling, which run through there, and that's on a dimmer switch. So at night when you're watching the telly, it's nice just to put it on really low. You'll see them just sort of fade out They just get brighter and brighter and brighter. So that's really nice. I just had a switch on the other one, but they're either on or off. So when I built this one, I decided to put a dimmer switch into it. And then coming down through here, then we've got masses of storage. So this is where we've got our clean water and our waste water. That's all in there, and our gas canisters in there too. So that's sort of all the practical side of things in there. And then in here we've got all our cooking bits and pieces, all our pots and pans and plates and everything else. Drawer in here with all our knives and forks, so it's all organised and easy to get to. And then we've got a sort of food cupboard here where we store all our food and our consumables, which is really nice. So that works really well for us, in as much as everything is really accessible, and even when the bed's pulled out, I'll show you in a minute, you can still open the fridge and you can still open all of the cupboards, which makes it accessible even when for a small van, even when you're sleeping in it, you can still get up and get to everything you need to get to. Okay, and then in the top then, so here we have a sink, running water, kettle, and under here we have a 2-ring burner, which is really easy to use. Kettle's got some water in, it's literally, I'll do it on this one, so turn the gas on, and there we go. Pop the kettle on, and before you know it, you're up and running. So that's a really usable piece of kit that makes life really easy for cooking and for making brews and coffees, etc, etc. So that's good. Just turn that off. Right. So then I've installed from the television, from the roof up here, that plugs in, you see behind, and that's just on a catch, that just drops down, and then that can swivel around. So that when you're sat back here, lying in bed, and you've got a TV, that will work off the satellite. I haven't got the satellite on the roof yet, but that will work off the satellite. At the moment we just plug an aerial into it. Digital TV, we get about 125, 126 channels, so there's plenty there to watch if we're bored on a cold, wet, rainy night. And then coming round, as you can see, we've put windows. I put windows down the side, and these have got blinds in, which are really easy to operate. They work really well, and they're sort of they're a blackout blind, so I tend to sleep really well when I'm in this van, which is good. We've got 2 tables here. These are fold-out tables, and they clip onto the sides onto here. So we've got one here, and then over on this side, another rail here, so that we can actually sit and use our computers or eat off of those if we're out in the winter. So that works really well. A couple of storage nets. I didn't have those in the last van, but I found that these are just nice to put your iPad and your glasses, remote control, etc, etc, when you're lying in bed. So that works really good. The all-important porta potty. So it just makes life easy when you want to go for a wee in the middle of the night. None of this getting out of your tent and finding a bush and getting all cold. It's really easy just to use that. And then under here, we've just got storage drawers with bits and pieces in, and there's 3 of those. Generally have one with my clothes, one with Wendy's clothes, and then we have one with ancillary bits and pieces in there. So that works really well. And then what I do is I'll pull the bed out now, and you can see what it is. So as you can see, it's full width. It runs full width of the van. I'll come back a bit. So it's actually bigger than what your double bed is at home, and it's so comfy. It really is good. But I'll pull that down now, and you can see just how that works. So there you go, just check that out for comfort, hey? That's even better than the Exped down air mat that I tend to use, and the Rab Neutrino 600 sleeping bag, which keeps me warm. This, when you get in here, you definitely don't want to be getting out. So that's where we sleep, and you saw how easy it pulled down, and it's exactly the same in reverse, just to put it back, unwind it, pull a lever, and it just folds back into a sofa again. So that's really easy. And that's it, guys. It's only a small space, it's only a small van, but we've utilised it so that it takes up and suits us for the things that we need. And like I say, I did have one before, we had it different to this, and learnt from that. So this works for us. Every one you see is different, but this is what works for us. And the reason that I love it is it gives me the opportunity to be able to get away, okay, late on a Friday night if I have to, where I can drive up if I'm to the Lake District or to Scotland, wherever I want to go, Cornwall, Exmoor, Dartmoor, South Wales, Snowdon, leave after work, head on up. If I feel tired, I can pull over anywhere, drop the bed down, have a sleep, carry on in the morning, or I can get up there 11, 12 o'clock at night, pull the bed out, sleep, get a good night's sleep in, and then I can get up in the morning and head out for my wild camping weekends in the morning. So it gives me the flexibility to be able to go places without having to book a hotel, without having to book a bed and breakfast, without having to leave early on a Saturday morning and lose some of the weekend. It just gives me that flexibility, and that's why I love it. And we've done many wild camps in the van. It's very, very rare now that we will actually use campsites. We tend to park up. A lot of the car parks nowadays, like at Snowdon on the Llanberis path there, you can camp you can park up and sleep overnight. I think it's about £10 there. So as long as you pay your car park fee, then it's ideal. A lot of places are free. We've slept in all sorts of places, village halls, church car parks, Sainsbury's supermarket car parks, as long as they haven't got the sort of 3-hour maximum parking on there. So there's many places in which we've found to wild camp, and we've absolutely loved it. We've got a battery in here. I'm going to put a solar panel on the roof, so that will help us more. But it's a different form of wild camping. But what it does is it enables me to be able to go and do my wild camping, to be able to get out on the mountain and get all my kit in here. I think you saw a video earlier in the year when I came off of Snowdon, that horrendous weekend that I had up on Snowdon with the weather. I absolutely loved it, but the weather was horrendous. But just to get back into the van at the end of a trip like that, to be able to get all your clothes off, lay them out, get them dried out, get the Eberspacher heater on to get yourself warm again, get a cup of coffee on the go, pull the bed out and chill out for an hour if that's what you want to do before heading back. It gives you that freedom, and you don't get that in a car. You can't have it in a car. So from that point of view, that's why I really like it. And you know, one of the best things that I ever did. I don't have a car now. Purely, I drive this everywhere. It's small enough to be able to get into car parks, and I really enjoy it. I really enjoy getting away. And I know this has been a different kind of weekend, a wild camping weekend as such, but like I said, it's a luxurious wild camping weekend compared to what we usually have with our little tents and our sleeping bags and our sleeping mats and cooking up our freeze-dried food. So it's nice sometimes just to be able to get away and still be able to get a weekend in and enjoy it and relax and chill. And we're just parked here sleeping right on the beach. You know, there's not a bed and breakfast or a hotel along here that is this close to the beach. So from that point of view, we've got it and it's free. And that's what really makes it. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get away. I'm going to go for a walk along the beach and just take in some of the quietness. And then when I'm back, we're going to get the fish on the go and we're going to get some cooking in. So I'll catch up with you then. Cheers. So here we are now, middle of the day. I must admit I went back to bed. Got a few hours kip in after getting up early this morning. But as you can probably see behind me, out on the water, there's lots of, let's see if I can get it for you, lots of kite surfers, wind surfers. They're all out having a great time. The the rain has stopped and it's actually turned out to be quite a nice day. So I think what I'm going to do is get the drone out. It's quite windy, but hopefully it'll be all right out here, and we'll get some coverage of the windsurfers and the kite surfers whilst they're hounding up and down the Lana Ray, the bay. So for tea tonight we're going to cook outside on the beach because the sun's shining, the kite surfers are out, and it's a lovely evening. So what I'm going to do is some really fine potato. I'm just going to chuck it all in the frying pan and cook it all up together. What I've got is some potato, some onion, lovely bit of cod fillet as we're by the beach. No, unfortunately I haven't caught it myself. I've had to go and buy it from the supermarket, but really it's just a case of being able to cook and eat outside, and that's one of the things that we love about wild camping. Wherever we're wild camping, it is that ability to be able to cook and eat outside with nature. So I've got the Caddock Safari Chef out. We tend to use this when we're cooking abroad, when we're away in France and in sunnier climates. So I've got that out. I've got the frying pan on, bit of basil infused olive oil in the pan, get that nice and warm, and then the fries which I cooked up we'll get in there and just get them cooking down a bit first. That'll soon warm up, and then whilst that's cooking over there, we'll get the onion chopped up. And at least out here the onion doesn't make your eyes sting. Look at that. We'll just cut that into into nice big chunks. We'll just break that up to go in with the potato, and we'll cook all that up. I'm a firm believer in everything goes in the same pot. Proper hearty, good English food. We'll chuck the whole thing in. Right, so this is browned off quite nicely now, just cooked up nicely, so I'm going to put a bit of salt and pepper in there, just to bring it to life a little bit, and then a little bit of salt and pepper on these two lovely cod fillets. And then what we'll do is we'll just put all of that to one side on there, and then we'll just lay these down. Oh, listen to that sizzle, that's beautiful. Look at that. We'll just lay them there for a few minutes either side just to cook that through, and then we've got a nice bit of Boursin cheese, garlic and herb, and a bit of double cream to go in there just to bring it all together. Delicious. So that fish is now cooking lovely. I'm just going to turn it over to once. I haven't got a fish slice, so I've got to use a cheese grater. But while camping, we have to look at that. Adapt and use. Everything has a dual purpose in the wild camping world. Look at that, delicious. I'll just put a little bit more salt on that side, a little bit more vinegar, and the old onion and the potato is cooked up lovely, look. Superb. Right, and then whilst we're at that stage, we'll have a bit of this lovely cheese. It's my favourite, this is. I love garlic, absolutely love garlic. And to have garlic and cheese, I think probably half of that will be enough. Oops, Daisy. It's alive. And we'll just sit that on top of there, and that'll melt in there nicely. And then at the last knock-ins, we'll put a bit of the old cream on top. That'll just melt in there nicely. Look at that. Doesn't that look beautiful? Beautiful. Bernard Matthews that was. Beautiful. Right, so just going to pour a little bit of cream in there now and just bring that back. That'll be enough. And that will be absolutely delicious. Magic. That's it. Just bring it back to the heat. Let that soak in, and that'll just bring it to life. Plate that up, and let's tuck in and enjoy. So there we have the final meal. Look at that. Potato, onion, with a lovely cod fillet, Boursin cheese, and a bit of double cream, with a limoncello dessert for afterwards. Now that's not bad for a wild camp meal. Now this one I name the Ollie Wainwright, and that's after my good friend Ollie Wainwright. It's a posh meal really, but it looks a little bit messy around the edges. There you go, Ollie, that one's for you, mate. Well, it's Sunday morning now, and last night the wind and the rain absolutely battered the seafront here. Luckily, I was in the camper van, so for me it was really quite a nice experience for a change. The the warmness, the coziness, the solidness of the van, just knowing that whatever it did outside, that I was going to be warm and dry, was a good feeling for this weekend. So all of you that were out in tents or tarps this weekend and suffered out there, then I hope you had as good a weekend as what I've had. So I'm just wrapping things up now. We're going to make a coffee and start making our way home. But I've had a lovely weekend down here at the coast. To be this close to the sea, to be able to lie in your van and hear the waves rolling in and rolling out has been something special. It's been tranquil, it's been relaxing, thought-provoking, gives me a chance to plan what future adventures I'm going to have coming up, and more importantly, I've managed to reconnect with myself again, which I find I do every time that I get away. It's nice to be able to get out in nature, whatever it may be doing, and tune into the nature, tune into yourself, find your inner being, and really just relax and bring yourself back down to earth, centralise yourself and be ready for the week ahead. So the winter's coming and the weather's only going to get worse. Start planning your adventures, start planning your weekends away. Always think of the safety element. But whatever you've got coming up, enjoy it, stay safe, and make the best adventures and the best memories that you can for yourself. Next weekend I've got a wild camp coming up. I'm going to be in the woods. So I will have a fire going, cooking on an open fire, probably have my tarp out. So be sure to tune in for that one some point next week when I manage to get it all uploaded. As always, thanks for watching. Really do appreciate your support and your comments. If you've got any comments about this weekend, drop them in the box below and I'll always get back to you as soon as I can. Feel free to subscribe if you're a new viewer, because the reason I get out there and do these weekends is to show you guys what's out there and hopefully to inspire you to have weekends and to have adventures of your own. So, like I say, whatever adventures you have between now and then, enjoy, be safe, and until next time, I'll see you again. Cheers.